Hidden away on the Essex coastline lies a magical world of craft and design, where forgotten treasures are given a new lease of life.
Ah, there we go.
We all have things that we love, but sometimes we just can't find a purpose for them. These unused items are cluttering up our homes, but they hold so many memories, we simply can't throw them away. It's not just a sewing machine, is it? It's what it represents.
It's part of our childhood.
It was something that I always wondered what could be done with it.
It reminds me of being really happy as a child.
Here in the workshop, our team of crafters will reimagine and transform these items.
No going back now, that's the first cut.
It's nice to be able to try and breathe new life into this old object.
This is always the scary part of any project, of taking a crowbar to it.
Transforming them into something new and beautiful.
Oh my God, it's incredible. That is absolutely amazing.
Our creative crew are ready to put their specialist skills to work on our visitors' projects. We have masters of metal.
That's the point of no return, that, isn't it?
Textile gurus.
This is 61 years worth of dust coming out of him.
And woodworking maestros.
Oh, just do it all day long. Great.
There's nothing that can't be reimagined by our team. First into the workshop is Ben from Lincolnshire, who's brought in an item of furniture that's been handed down through generations of his family.
Ben, welcome to the Saved and Remade workshop.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. This is Rada, who's got the biggest smile on his face because he can't wait to get his hands stuck on this trunk. Who did this trunk belong to?
It belonged to my grandparents. They were Italians who came over during the 1950s when there was a big migration over to work in the brickyards in Peterborough, Luton, those sort of areas. And this is what they brought all their family's world in, basically.
At that point, did they have any children, or was it just them?
Yeah, no, they had 3 children at the time.
So they had... This and a suitcase was everything that they owned?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, they made their clothes once they got over here out of fabric, so they didn't have clothes and whatever. It was just the items mostly, and blankets, things like that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You imagine moving to a country where you didn't speak a single word and you had 3 children. And I just think, you know, I know what we're looking at is an old wooden trunk, but what we're looking at is something that's got so much history. Do you have any memories of what they were like as people?
My granddad, because I was so little, he just seemed like a huge man to me.
So when they were here, where did this trunk live?
In their house, it was right at the top of the stairs, and I'd have a habit of climbing onto the top of it, hence why there were cracks.
OK, you're responsible
for
those.
I'm sure I'm the one who made those when I was little.
Because you've got a little grandson who is 7 now. Does he do hide and seek in here?
No, but he did try to start jumping on it.
Jump on it!
And we could hear the cracking starting.
That'll be that then, was it?
he basically he just damaged it a bit more what I started.
So when your grandparents passed away, what happened to the trunk?
It came with us to my mum's house. And because of it was falling into a bit of a state of disrepair, it ended up the attic.
Right, OK.
And it wasn't until my mum passed away, it was about 12 years ago, that we were clearing out her house and I came across it again, took it back to my house.
What I wanted to get onto before we bring the lovely Rada in is the whole essence of this trunk, because it's not just a piece of furniture, it represents new beginnings, doesn't it? And it's been passed down through 3 generations now. What's made you decide that now is the time to repurpose this and remake it?
It's just, if I use it anymore, I've just got the feeling it's just going to slowly disintegrate. And the idea that it could be remade into something else that I could actually use, and it just, I like the idea of it.
Well, you're in good hands, because we have the wonderful Rada here. Rada, any ideas?
One of the things that really draws me to this trunk is this top section. I think there's so much potential to turn this little lid into something really functional or something beautiful. So I'm actually going to mix it up a little and pitch you 2 different ideas, and let me know which one you prefer. So the first one would be to take the top of this trunk, slice it down so that you've just got this top lid, and then mount this on the wall. And then what I wanted to do is do some traditional carving into the top of it and carve in the coat of arms for Naples. So then you'll be able to point to it, and that'll be a really nice statement piece for the home.
Yeah.
And then the alternative idea is something completely different, and to instead take this and flip it upside down and actually work with a couple of other remakers, some metal workers, maybe even bring in some fabric, and actually turn it into like a big swinging seat, something that your grandson can sit on and play around with. Yeah, those are the 2 ideas that I've got. What do you think?
I really like the idea of the swing.
Okay.
Simply because it's something my grandson can then use as well.
Nice.
And I know he'd enjoy that as well.
Brilliant. What a clever idea. So you're going to take this... Can I open this up?
Does it open up?
Yeah, I think give it...
So you're going to take this part here and create a seat out of it. What a lovely idea.
That'd be really cool.
Oh, and I think your grandparents would be very pleased to know that it's going to live a longer life.
Yeah.
Ben's family's trunk has so much potential to be turned into a really fun, functional piece of furniture. I absolutely love all the character that's in this piece. And I think there's so much opportunity to just keep it as it is and just try to preserve it. I mean, like what he mentioned, where he had been jumping on this and it's got this crack in it, then his grandson's been jumping on it, it's got this crack in it. I think things like that isn't something that you want to tear away, and actually try to keep that story and that history in the piece. So I don't want to change too much about the aesthetics of it, and instead, I want to take off this top of the lid, flip it upside down, sort of preserve the inside with a waterproof finish so that this swing can go outside, added a bunch of slats, and then we can have a really nice, fun swing for his grandson. Now, part of the swing, of course, you need an A-frame. I need a really tall sort of structure to attach this all to. And after a lot of thinking, I know exactly who I want to work with, and that is my neighbor in the workshop, John. My man John, can you come over here for a second, please? I need you. I need you.
Whose remake is this? Have you been at sea?
I know. It has really been traveling across the world, this piece.
Classic pirate chest.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually what his grandson refers to it as, is as a pirate's chest.
Okay.
But this is actually his grandparents' trunk, and they've traveled, and this was holding most of their possessions that they had when they moved to England. But what I want to do is I actually want to turn this into a swing. So I'm going to take off this top of the lid, but it needs a nice solid A-frame so that, you know, we can have his grandson swing on this swing. What do you reckon?
A-frame, no problem.
So I'm talking at least 7 foot, at least 7 foot.
Who is this thing for? Is it for you or is it for the grandson? Because I'm thinking that you're liking it yourself.
For real, I think this is going to be such a fun piece. And then if you can add in some of those beautiful John details, that will just bring it to another level.
John details are standard, not a problem, mate.
Amazing. Right, so I'll bring this over to you and we can talk dimensions.
Okay, great. See you in a bit. Bye.
Thanks, John.
Bye.
Great, okay, so with John on the project, it's a guaranteed success. Now, I guess let's chop this up and get to work with it. Cannot wait. This is going to be so fun.
Steamer trunks like Ben's are named after the steamships they often travelled in. The curved lid design meant nothing could be stacked on top, so whatever was inside wouldn't get crushed.
Man, I was sure that was going to take it off.
As he takes the trunk apart, Rada has to be careful if he wants to preserve its original features.
I think it's going to damage it.
He's removing the catches and buckles so he can include them in his design. As he prizes off the pieces, a handle reveals something unexpected.
So you can see actually underneath this, the original colour, it being a green trunk. I bet even Ben didn't know that this used to be a green trunk. That's really interesting.
I've actually just realised this needs to be in the 2 halves.
Next is Josephine from Birmingham.
How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
She's brought in an item that she used to be very attached to and would like it transformed into something inspirational.
Josephine, thank you so much for bringing yourself and part of your body into the Saved and Remade workshop. I'd like to introduce you to Titch and Daisy.
Hi.
They're going to both be pitching some ideas to turn your tibia into something else.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the most unusual thing we've ever had here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Never had another body part, have we?
I feel quite proud of that.
Yeah, you should. It's a good accolade.
Yeah.
Let us go back to when you were 17. Something wasn't quite right. What happened?
So I basically started getting a pain in my leg, and there was a kind of a small lump growing, and I kept going back to the GP and saying, there's something not right, what's this? And they were saying it's growing pains, or you've got muscle issues, you need to exercise, you need to work out, you need to massage it, all of those things. And that lasted about 8 months, and it got to a point where basically I couldn't walk. Eventually, my mum, we were due to go on a skiing holiday, and my mum got so exasperated, and she's a nurse, and so she said, right, I'm going to pay for a private physio. So I went to this private physio, and as soon as she put her hands on it to massage it, she went, there's something not right. And it was suddenly then like a whir of everything happening all at once, and I was being taken to this scan and having blood tests and all sorts. And yeah, and we got a call that evening. So initially they said, you've got hot spots. And my mum, being a nurse, knew exactly what that meant. And I think then it probably hit me. I'm going, I have cancer in my leg. And so I went on a trial treatment of extreme chemotherapy, and then I had surgery, which is where this is from.
So this is a titanium tibia?
Yes, this bit here went into effectively my remaining tibia.
This part is where your shin is?
Yes, yeah.
And then that bit went into?
The remaining bone, basically.
Right.
So this would have been my thigh.
Yep, thigh's here,
knee. Yeah, shin. And then the idea is that this goes into the bone and holds it in place, and then they put a special coating around here.
Yeah.
And that is to encourage the bone to grow over it and kind of fix it in place. Yeah.
Okay. Then you had the surgery. Where were you up to after all of that?
So I was extremely lucky, and the trial worked, and so obviously I'm still here today. It's 15 years ago. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. The one thing that didn't work was unfortunately the surgery. I got an infection. Once you get an infection on metal, it's incredibly hard to get rid of.
Right.
And it affected me for years.
How many operations did you have?
So I had 11 surgeries in 6 years.
Wow. So then who made the decision to amputate?
Me. So I got to a point where I was really fed up, and it was playing up again, and I could feel the pain again. And there is only so many times they can do the surgery, because each time they take away an inch of bone, so you start to, this stem gets shorter and shorter effectively. Right. And so it was a kind of crunch time of this might be the last time we can do this. And I just didn't want to have to deal with the hope that it was going to work this time, and then find it failed. And I kind of took the decision upon myself and said, no, I'd like to have it amputated, then fundraised to purchase my prosthetic.
Amazing. So I want to get back to the fact that you've still kept it.
So this is actually my first ever one that I had replaced. When I first got it, I thought about all sorts of, like, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, but time and resources and never sitting down and actually really thinking about it, and also having no idea personally, just meant that nothing ever happened with it. And so it just sat in its red box, and occasionally it's a party piece, and oh look, this was in me.
Josephine has brought in a titanium tibia, which was once part of her leg. She wants to have it reinvented into something she can proudly display.
Well, fortunately, I do have a couple of people with me that have ideas. Look at Titch's face. I love it when something like this comes in, because Titch gets so excited he doesn't know what to do with himself. Titch, do you want to pitch first?
Yeah, it's a great story, absolutely fantastic. It's so well made, and the lines on it are brilliant, However, it's titanium. Never worked with titanium before. I know it's really, really hard. I don't know what it's like to sort of drill into or work with. So my idea would to be try and keep it in one piece.
Yeah.
If I can, I might be able to route something through it, but I would like to turn it into a lamp. So you would see it upright as it would have been in your leg, but just on the side as a lamp, so you can see there and it has some use to it.
Daisy?
Well, I think same kind of vein as Titch. I don't want to tamper with it. I'm not going to kind of drill into it or anything like that. I'm thinking about making a lovely coffee table with that being one of the feet. I think if it's this way up, it's almost like, you know, like a paw. You get those kind of claw feet.
So we've got a lamp, or we've got a coffee table?
I'm going to go with the lamp, and that's actually because when I first got it, that was one of my first thoughts. So I really like that idea. Sorry. But yeah, I think that would be really exciting.
Wonderful. Happy, Titch?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to that, that'd be great.
When I got it, I was kind of thinking about things that I could potentially do with it. I never knew how I could best represent what it meant, and I think the idea that it's turning into a lamp is amazing. It's something that's going to then permanently be on display, that people can interact with, that, you know, we can tell the story using it, and yeah, I think they'll think it's brilliant.
To begin with, Titch is carefully constructing the base of the lamp he's making out of the titanium tibia.
Now here we have a piece of scaffold board. Doesn't look much at the minute, but this is going to be the base for Josephine's tibia. So we're going to make a foot that comes up and this will sit into it. And then we'll put the light fixture through the top. Daisy, have you got a minute?
Hello? Yeah, sure.
Can you give us a hand with this? So I've got a piece of wood here.
Yeah.
But what I need to do is borrow your shoe.
My shoe? Why do you need my shoe?
Because I'm going to cut this into a shoe shape. What size fit you?
Size 4?
Yes! Ideal. Can I borrow your shoe? I'm going to draw around it on this.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look at that. Look.
There you go.
Oh, like a glove. But just, that is absolutely bang on. Superb. Thanks ever so much.
No problem.
I can get that cut out. Yeah, any time. This was the bit of scaffold plank, 3 of them that I put together. I'm now forming it into the foot shape that'll be the base for Josephine's lamp. Doesn't look far off Daisy's shoe, does it? Look at that. I might make her a pair.
Next into the workshop is Rona from Edinburgh.
So Velvet, this is going to get the creative juices flowing.
Rona has brought in a precious but now discarded sheepskin coat that's been hanging in her wardrobe for decades.
My mum bought it for me for my 21st birthday. I remember the shop when we first saw it, and it was a really old-fashioned, like saddler's shop. It smelled of leather, and they had lovely leather bags.
I love the fact that she bought you something that was practical for your birthday.
Yes.
You know, most people, 21st, have a necklace, have some earrings, but your mum's like, she's going to be cold, I need to look after her, I need to make sure that she's warm.
I was a student living in a chilly flat.
I was going to say, were you just permanently cold up in Scotland in a flat with no heating?
Exactly, yes, no heating. I was always chilly, so I said, oh yes, I'd love that.
Did you basically sleep, eat and live in it?
Once I got it, I wore it every day.
And then I know your mum passed away
Was it 3 years after you had the coat?
Yes, a few years after I had the coat. And in fact, I think the year I got the coat was the year she became unwell. So whether that's why I've kept the coat, because, oh well, my mum got it for my 21st.
And I think that there is something, if you have something that somebody you love has given you,
yes,
it's really important to sort of keep hold of it.
A few years after my mum passed away, I went to college in Aberdeen, and it used to make me think of her because it was freezing in Aberdeen. But I remember thinking, oh, Mum, that was really,
it's like a
really
comfort.
nice of you. Yeah, it's like a comfort thing, yes.
Yeah.
It used to make me always think of her when I put it on, and it made me feel all warm, like someone was looking after me. And
where has it been? Where have you had it all this time?
It's been in the wardrobe. It's quite heavy and quite stiff, you know, to wear. So it'd be nice to make a new memory out of it.
Absolutely,
by turning it into something else, something more that you could keep out and admire.
It's time to give it a new lease of life, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking, first of all, I love the jacket. I think it's so nice, and I think it will definitely keep you warm. But I'm thinking of changing it into like a belly basket, normally made of wicker.
Right.
So this would be made of this fabric. It's like a plant pot, but you could use it as a functioning basket. So you can put blankets in there, you can put like your remote control, books in there, just like a storage basket, if you will.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Will you be able to do anything with the buttons? Because I love the buttons on them.
We could put the buttons across the rim. We can have this on the outside and maybe a trim of this on the rim around it.
So, you happy with that, Rona?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good because I do have a lot of books and a lot of blankets to keep me warm in Edinburgh.
Yes. So in a way, I guess your mum bought it to keep you warm, and it will eventually turn into something that you can put things in that will also keep you warm. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this. This is going to be good. I am excited. Yes. Right, bye-bye jacket. Let's wait and see what happens.
Yes. I think it sounds like she's got a really good idea, and I think for me it'll be something that'll be sitting in my living room reminding me of my mum instead of something hanging in a wardrobe. So I'm looking forward to seeing it changed into a new memory.
At the sewing table, Velvet is starting the transformation of Rona's sheepskin coat into stylish storage called a belly basket.
So this is my sketch. So I think it would be a really good idea to use the pockets on this bit here and then put in handles just here and here. So the first thing I did was make the pattern. So when making a pattern, it's very important to make sure that everything lines up. So I'm just going to measure the pattern, because once you've cut it out of the fabric, it's too late. And then the base needs to line up beautifully to the bottom. So I'm going to fold this up into 4, makes it easier to measure. And then I'm going to measure this bit here. And yes, perfect. So now I'm ready.
Belly baskets, named for their curved shape, were traditionally used to carry rice and were collapsible for space-saving storage.
So my first thing to do is to lay it out on the table and then get my bottom piece and lay the pattern on it. And I want to incorporate as much of the pocket as I can. And then I'm gonna pin it in place and then cut. So with the reason why I think this will be a really good belly bag in this fabric is because it will give it that kind of vintage, old, kind of worn vibe, which I think is so on trend right now. And I think it will be a good conversation starter when like guests come round. So here we go. Let's go for it.
Across the workshop, John is meticulously planning the metal A-frame structure, which will turn Ben's grandparents' trunk into a swing for his grandson.
I've done 2 drawings here, one from the front and one from the side. And I've chosen this particular design because it's the strongest and safest design for this particular swing because it's going to be used by a child. I'm ready to start fabricating the A-frame for Rada's swing. This beautiful old chest. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to find 4 fixing holes for the chains, which is going to hang off the A-frame. Right, so now we have the A-frame. What I've actually done is I've drawn it out life size, and this angle at the top here is very, very important for me to actually establish and get it correct. So I've got some digital angle finders. So I'll just pop these on the 2 outside lines, and that's going to give me an accurate angle for me to cut my material, leaving nothing to chance. And that tells me that the angle's 37 degrees.
While John completes the frame, Rada is assembling the seat.
Okay, great. So now I'm just using these little blocks right here that are going to be used as spacers. That way I can make sure that everything is being really consistent along it, because your eye will pick up any small discrepancies straight away. But these will be the slats, and what I'm hoping is that they'll all match up and actually look quite beautiful in there. Of course, they need a little bit more detail put into them, but at this stage, I just want to get an idea of how they all fit together and how it matches that aesthetic of the trunk, because of course I want to leave the trunk as best I can and just try to restore it a little bit, just to give it a little bit of life. But this last one back in here, that's great. Okay, that's really nice. Something that's going to sit really nicely with this is incorporating a backrest into it. Now, it's got this iconic sort of pirate ship sort of feel to it, which is exactly what his grandkid refers to it as. And so what I want to do is sort of frame up some of these pieces and also incorporate some of these buckles and different metalwork that we took off from previously, and sort of create some form of artwork that's then going to act as that backrest as well. Now, I guess it's the moment of truth. Let's see. Okay, nice. That's good, that is very good. That is good. If it takes my weight, it'll take a 7-year-old's. And that is plenty strong enough. It's quite comfy as well, actually. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how comfy it is.
Before he assembles the swing, Rada needs to waterproof it to protect it from the elements.
So all I'm doing right now is just adding on a little protective sealant onto all the canvas. Now this canvas has been really used and has literally gone across the world. So I'm going to add on a little bit of protectant because it's going to be outside as a swing. I want to make sure that it doesn't get too damaged or sort of wear down or rip itself apart too much.
Ben is returning to see how Rada has got on transforming his well-travelled trunk. Hey Ben, lovely
Hi.
to see you again.
You too.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
He's done such a great job because it's such a beautiful piece that you brought in. I often think what must have been going through your grandmother's mind when she was packing that one trunk for all of their belongings. Wait until you see what he's done with it. It's literally just round this corner. Do you want to go and have a look?
Yeah,
Come
let's
on.
go.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I promise you.
Wow. That wasn't what I was expecting. That's great.
Do you want to get closer and have a look?
Yeah, let's
you
go.
Remember Rada?
You're
Rada
right.
the Wonder Kid?
Wow. It's brilliant. Really is.
I remember you talking about your grandson Jacob, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's 7?
Yeah, he is.
The perfect adventure swing for a 7-year-old, isn't it?
That's it.
Oh,
That's
he's
it,
going to go mad when he sees it. He really will.
What a transformation, huh?
Yeah.
That I didn't want to sort of repair it entirely. I wanted to try and keep the essence and keep the energy that it already had and just make it so it's a little functional and your grandson can jump on it properly now.
Oh, it does. It looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah, so you can see that all over it. Then I've kept the same clasps that go.
Oh, it still goes up and down. That's good.
Yeah. Everything's still functional. I've actually put the handles on the sides as well, so you can even swing it from the side if he needs a little push. But yeah, all over this, it is all the original pieces that I didn't want to mess with too much. So taking the trunk, tipped it upside down and drilled some drainage holes as well, so it won't just fill up with water and become a little bath. And then yeah, just added on those slats. This is from the body of the trunk, and I've just used some of that ironmongery and sort of incorporated it back in just a little pretty way just to decorate it.
When you say there's drainage holes underneath, what's it going to be like when the rain comes down?
Yeah, so I've completely lacquered everything with a waterproof lacquer, and actually an eco-waterproof lacquer. And then all the canvas sections have all had a protective spray over the top of them. So even though it's a clear lacquer, so it looks like there's nothing on it, it's actually got the same sort of thing that you would take for camping that you would put on your tent. You sort of spray that down, and it completely makes it hydrophobic.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
You don't have to worry about it outside. It's all got stainless steel chains. Yeah. John sorted out lacquering the frame, and then all of that is completely weatherproof.
Do you think Jacob's going to like it?
He will. He'll be jumping. Well, hopefully he won't be jumping all over it, but he'll be jumping up and down when he sees it, definitely.
What a great piece. I love the fact that has had so many adventures already, and it's going to continue to have so many adventures in the years to come.
Yeah. No, to have it repurposed into something I can actually use and still have it there looking the way it does. The memories are still there. It hasn't changed that for me. It's just going to be something that's going to actually be useful and something that hopefully my grandson will have good memories of.
Aren't these gorgeous? They're so, so pretty.
Titch is working on Josephine's Tibia. It's made of titanium, which is a strong but lightweight metal that's resistant to corrosion and perfect for replacing parts of the human skeleton.
It's an amazing thing. It's a lovely thing. It really is a testament to a bit of hardship, this, isn't it, when you look at it? She's been through quite a lot with everything, and eventually, having gone through this, having this into her leg and several other attempts, not just this one, she eventually ended up opting to have it amputated. What a shame. But really strong lass, and it seems like she's just going from strength to strength, isn't it? So my challenge is to make this into something worthy of her, isn't it? The only problem I've got with it is so difficult to work with. It's titanium. This is really, really hard stuff. So you can't weld to it or anything like that. What I am going to try and do, though, is drill into it.
A hole will allow Titch to run a cable through the tibia for the light fitting, if he can work out how to do it. Back at the sewing station, Velvet is cutting up Rona's sheepskin coat to make the belly basket.
This is very thick fabric. So now I've cut it off and we have the button stand. So I will use this and use it as a feature that will go around the basket and then put the buttons on. But I think it's such a beautiful feature, and it definitely keeps the same vibe. So Rona's coat, I completely understand why she's kept it for so long. My dad died when I was 16, so I have a suitcase under my bed. The suitcase was my dad's suitcase, and he brought it to work every day. And inside the suitcase has his name and our old address, but it's got his handwriting in it. And I've kept that suitcase under my bed for 27 years. And I don't know, it just makes me feel like he's still there, he's still looking after me. So yeah, I completely understand why she's kept the coat. And that's one bit done. And that'll be the top part of the basket. So this is the belly basket. It's currently inside out. This is because I'm gonna stitch the base on. The base is pinned, just so it's easier for me to sew. There she is. The boning, The boning is going to go along the top, and this will just keep the basket open. Yeah. So what I need to do is get a bit of MDF, and this will go inside just to make it a bit more rigid.
Rona is back in the workshop to see how her jacket from the 80s has been updated. Hello again, Rona. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good, good,
Fine,
good,
yeah.
good. Do you remember Velvet?
Yes,
You've
yeah,
been very busy beavering away.
Yeah, it was so fun to make, and I got to work with suede and use different machinery. So now I hope you like it.
Are you ready for the reveal?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, that's really nice.
So it's still got the essence.
Yeah, I've tried to keep as much of the jacket in as I can, so I've kept the original pockets. I've used the cuff of the sleeves as the handles. I've kept the buttons, and I've just finished it off with the rope and a little bit of gold.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's multi-use. You can use it as like a plant pot, or put like towels in, or books in, or just use it as something that you just keep your bits and pieces in.
What do you think you will use it for?
Yeah, I was thinking for books and things, because I'm studying a bit just now as well, and I thought I could put all my books and all my study clutter in it. But I quite like it with the plants. Never seen it with plants. I'm thinking, oh, that's really nice.
It looks really good with the plants, doesn't it?
So I might try out a few different ideas with it.
I love the fact that when your mum bought this for you, she brought it because she wanted it to be practical. And even though it isn't your jacket anymore, it still has the essence of your jacket, and it is still really practical. So it lives on.
Yes.
I'm so glad you like it. Well done, Velvet. Top effort. That's going to go back up with you to be used every single day.
Yes. Thanks very much. It's lovely. Yes.
You're welcome.
It'll take pride of place in my living room. It'll remind me of my mum. I can look over and think, oh, Mum's still looking after me. And she's still there to, tidy up after me, if you like. So it will remind me of my mum, and I think it's really nice to have got the coat out the wardrobe and be using it every day. And I think she'd like that as well, so it should be a good addition to the house. And my sister will come and be able to see it, and hopefully my daughter will fall in love with it as well.
Let the fun commence.
Just popping over the forge to see Lee. He's got a pillar drill there, because I need to drill this tibia. Now, it's going to be hard work. I've got some specialist drill bits, though, that apparently might do the job. Hey, Lee.
Easy.
What's on, mate?
Not too bad. What have you got in here, then?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Look at that. Do you know what that is?
Part of a drum kit?
No.
No?
Ice pick. No, it's a leg. Part of a leg.
Well, that's... What, as in a prosthetic?
Yes.
No.
Well, it was an implant into a lower leg. It's a tibia from a lady who had that in her leg, but unfortunately it didn't work, so she had it amputated. Now, do you know what it's made of?
At first guess, I think titanium.
Yes.
Because it's not going to rust in there, is it?
No.
So what do you
well,
want?
I need to drill it.
It's actually a hole you need to drill, is it? I mean, I think you've got to put it in the vise, but not clamp it in, just use it as a point to stop it from rolling, you know. Work out where you want to put that hole. Gauge that depth that you want. God, it's going to be hard, Mr. Titch. And just make sure that it's not going to kick up when you strike down there. Make sure it's bedded in nicely, and then just get yourself holding it nice. So you don't want any bounce or anything in it.
Okay.
Grab that hammer there and give it a try. Oh, it's so slippery. It's so slippery. I mean, I can hold it on there if you want.
Right, when you nod your head, I'll hit it.
OK. So...
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh!
That's actually that's a promising sign. So...
That's good.
What you need now is to come onto the old pillar drill over here.
The pillar drill gives Titch complete control for the angle he needs and means the drill won't slip on the hard, smooth metal.
Get the angle, get it coming down, Titch. Come on.
Sorry,
That's
mate.
it. Take your time.
That was wrong, wasn't it?
Now, don't be shy. Just a little bit more. Nice. Well, I'm going to leave you to it, mister. Take your time, yeah?
Cheers, mate. I will. Thanks, mate.
A cutting fluid helps to make the drilling easier by reducing friction and stopping the metal getting too hot.
I think that's through, mate.
Has it gone through?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
You know, that was surprisingly easy, considering I thought it was going to be one serious job. Right, brilliant, mate. That's fantastic.
Right. Good job, good
Thanks,
job.
Dave.
All right, can I get back to work now?
Woohoo! Beautiful.
Josephine is returning to the workshop to see how Titch has transformed her titanium tibia.
Josephine, so lovely to see you again.
Hi.
Are you nervous?
I'm excited, yeah.
It's like some sort of magical, mystical thing, isn't it? What's tell me the future?
Is that what it is? It's going to predict the future?
That's what it do. It will. Yeah.
I think you have won the award for the most unusual item to be brought into the Saved and Remade workshop. I think it's only fair that Titch does the honours because you've done all the work. Are you ready for this?
I am really ready, yeah.
Come on,
Very
Titch.
excited.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing. I love how this matches in the same kind of tone as the bone itself, and it's so polished up. I've never seen it like that. So that's absolutely incredible.
Do you want to switch it on?
Yeah. Ta-da! I love it. That's fantastic. It's going to be such a piece now that people actually look at and kind of like get a grasp of what it is, as well as, you know, rather than it being in a box, it's now actually something that's going to be part of my home. I'm really excited.
What I tried to do with it, Josephine, was make it look so it was self-explanatory of what it is. So there I made the foot at the bottom, and then obviously your shin bone and tibia there, and the light bulb is in fact where your knee would be.
What's really cool about that is that actually when I first had my scans that revealed that I had hot spots, which is an indicator of cancer, on the scans themselves it glows, so you really do see where it is. So the fact that the light bulb is the knee is actually where it glowed on the scan, so it's part of that narrative.
So when you first discovered that you had cancer, the hot spot, the main spot, for example, was where the knee was?
Yeah, it's already spread from the tibia to the back of the knee, and because the knee is such a moving joint, there's loads of activity there, and so it glows slightly brighter. Yeah.
It's an incredible piece. I absolutely love it. You've got a spot for it?
I've got a spot for it, yeah. So I've got a shelf which has got actually loads of memories and artworks, and also my old bike as well, an old bike from when I was younger. And it's going to go on there. It's kind of my husband and I's kind of space for us. It tells the story of us, and that's going to go on there. It's part of that narrative.
Perfect.
To have met Titch and to have been part of this process, it's been really fun, really exciting, but also it's added a level of emotional closure to something that has just been hidden away and is now part of my life and in my house for all to see.